Hello, and thank you for being here. My name is Chrissy Hodges, and this is my YouTube channel. I appreciate you dropping by. I'm an advocate for OCD. Particularly, I talk most about the community name Pure OCD, which is also the name of my book, which matches my shirt. Yay! um, it's a community name that describes individuals who live with intrusive thoughts and mental rituals, therefore making what we're struggling with OCD virtually invisible to everyone around us. Sometimes people go a really long time not knowing that they have OCD because of how this manifests. I also provide peer support. I'm certified here in the state of Colorado, but I do consultations for peer support around the world, as well as referral consultations to help get you connected to therapists. I'm the co-founder of OCD Peers. I run a few groups as well. And if you want to join a group of ours, go to ocdpeers.com to register. If you're looking for therapy, either here in the States or in the UK, Australia, or Canada, no-CD, which is also an app, is also providing therapy, teletherapy with ERP. So that's really exciting. Go to treatmyocd.com or check out the link in my bio or in the description of the video and just click on that. So today I wanted to talk about something. I posted something on my YouTube a couple days ago. If you don't follow me, head on over to @pureochrissy. I post almost every other day on OCD content and a lot about my French Bulldog, which by the way, he's right here and he's snoring. So if you hear anything, that's not me, it's him. I wanted to post a video today, just I'm doing a bit of a series of videos about some of the more, the questions I get about OCD and, just kind of the general experience. And what I really wanted to talk to you about today was the feeling of being a fraud. Now, this is, imposter syndrome is what almost everyone experiences, right? People all over experience imposter syndrome. This is I feel like I'm an imposter, even though, in whatever you're doing, whether that's a job or a career, or even sometimes you can feel that way in relationships or just life in general. And it often makes you feel like you're a fraud. Someone's going to find me out, okay? And then they're going to find out who I really am, what I'm really about, and then they're going to know, or I'm going to get canceled, or I'm going to lose my job, or I'm going to lose a relationship, or, whatever. But in general, I wanted to talk about how this impacts those of us with OCD. This came up in a group, I think it was last week, and I really loved the discussion because it just really opened my eyes to be able to see all the different areas when we're having an entire span of OCD, whether that's onset of symptoms up until treatment or even after treatment, where we really can identify as, wow, I am not who I say I am. No one knows who I really am. I feel like a fraud. Now I say identify that, but that is not what I mean about you or about me. But those feelings are very prevalent and they're very pervasive. And so today, I'm going to take about 5 minutes. This is just going to be a quick one today. I want to go through the different areas where you can feel this way. And I'm doing this because I want this video to help normalize what you may have experienced or are experiencing right now, or may in the future. When we have the onset of symptoms, it usually comes with a shock, right? Most people will describe, I remember the moment it happened. I remember who I was before, and then boom, this happened. And then after, my whole life changed. And we always say, oh, I wish I could go back. And then if I didn't have that moment, or if I didn't do that thing, or if I didn't talk to that person, or watch that movie, or watch porn, or whatever, all of a sudden it's this, if only I hadn't done this. Well, the onset of symptoms, kind of this shift in who you are, can really make you feel like an imposter. It can make you feel like a fraud. It can make you feel like you're not connected to yourself. Okay? A lot of it, he's snoring. Buddy. And this happens because you feel like you were one person, and then boom, you're not that person anymore. Now you're all consumed. Now you don't know who you are. Now that's the first feeling of I've lost myself. I'm not connected to who I am anymore, which seems to be a thread with OCD, right? So then it can be the content. The content can make you feel disconnected. The content can make you feel like a fraud. If you're having taboo intrusive thoughts like POCD and incest OCD, harm OCD, religious scrupulosity, these things are really far away from who you are, what you identify, or what you want or desire. You can really feel this to an nth degree. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm disconnected. Now here I am in this world trying to act like who I used to be. And what is that person gone? And this is my new me. It's a really, really scary feeling. Okay. So then there's the persistence of the thoughts. The every day that you wake up and boom, there they are again. Uh-oh, I was hoping today I would wake up and they would be gone. And depending on who you are, what your experience is, this could last days, weeks, months, years, decades. And when we look at the longer you are dealing with this persistent trauma, of trying to work out someone that you think that you aren't, but you can't stop thinking about it. This is an area where you also can feel like, I don't know who I am anymore. I feel very disconnected. I feel like a fraud. So then we move on to experiencing depression, because depression just goes hand in hand with OCD. Experience addiction. Some people live for so long without knowing what this is, and their coping skills become addictive behaviors, whether that's porn or booze or sex or pills. I ain't shaming you. I struggle with substance use. I also know we do what we can to cope when we don't know any other solution. Lots of people live with this in silence for years. They do the best they can. And sometimes that involves, I need to escape for a little while. I need some sort of dopamine hit because I can't take this anymore, right? So then when we develop addiction, when we're struggling with depression, this can also make us feel disconnected from who we are. Fast forward to a diagnosis. Maybe you finally find out on the internet. You're here on this channel and you're like, holy shit. I've been worried that I didn't know what my sexual orientation was all these years, and now this is what it is. This is the fear that I have had around not knowing. Boom. Then you find out, this might be a mental illness. Mental illness is still hugely stigmatized in our society, okay? So it's not like you find out and you're like, yay! I mean, you might feel some relief. But most people feel like, okay, good, it's this. And then they're like, uh-oh. And then there's a disconnect between who you are and now who you are with a mental illness. So there's just another place. ERP, I'm not going to dog on ERP, but I'm just going to say it. It's hard work. You're having to expose yourself to things that just feel like this goes against everything that I know and I want to do. We do know it's just behavioral therapy that's exposing you to a fear, but because we have this emotional connection, we try to work out logically in our brain. In order to get better, I have to do really scary things, and that doesn't feel like who I am or who I want to be. There's the disconnect again. And lastly, the grief. Even after treatment, even getting to recovery and realizing, wow, look at what I just went through, or how am I going to, and this is a big one actually, how am I going to tell people what I've been through? Or I'm not telling people what I've been through, and that means they don't know me. That means they never know me. I'm alone here, and I'm withholding things. I'm lying to people because I'm not telling them what my thoughts really are. Or if I don't tell my partner, that means they don't really know me and I'm a bad partner, right? All of these things, especially when we're talking about how we're communicating to others. If I don't tell people I have OCD, if I don't tell people that my theme is POCD, that my theme is harm, if I don't tell them I have intrusive thoughts about them, I'm being dishonest. Again, disconnect. Again, does that mean I'm a fraud? Does that mean that I'm not being true to other people, that I'm not being true to myself? I'm tying this up with this nice bow. It's not a pretty bow, but Just to let you know, you may have experienced trauma with this. In any of the things I just described, you are susceptible to having trauma. And that's okay. And it may help you identify with why things are still sticking with you, why you're still haunted by stuff, why you're still grieving, why you can't move on, or why it's exacerbating everything. And that's okay. Part of trauma is feeling disconnected. It's feeling like you've lost yourself. You've lost your essence. I read something a couple days ago that talked about recovery. And what recovery means is recovering yourself. Recovering what you feel like you've lost. And I'm here to tell you, friends, with OCD, we feel like we have lost so much. And in fact, we do lose things. We lose memories, we lose milestones, sometimes we lose relationships, and we feel a loss from ourselves. I'm here to tell you, it feels that way, but you have not been lost. You're not lost. You're still connected. That person that was there before, the moment this showed up, you're still there. They're still there, and they may have gotten buried. And you may not feel that way, and that's okay. You can reconnect. You can recover what you've lost. And I think sometimes it's so important to have that reminder. We aren't chasing after what we used to be, because what we used to be has changed with all of these things that we've gone through. But what we're chasing after is the new person that has endured, has survived, has become resilient and strong. I would highly suggest getting some trauma therapy, some grief therapy, if you need it, because I'm here to validate your experience. I'm here to tell you you're not alone and to tell you that you deserve it. That's my message today. There's so many areas we can fall into those cracks. And I'm going to tell you, so many of us have been and are in those cracks at times. So wherever you trip and fall, you're not alone. And I hope by visiting this channel, watching my videos, I can reinforce that for you. I so appreciate you and this community, and I thank you for walking alongside me, and I hope that anything that I said today can help resonate and help you feel less alone. I'll see you soon.